All right, everybody, welcome back to F and White People. And in honor of today, we are going to celebrate it by talking about it. And that day is No King's Day. So when you're listening to this, do us a favor. Celebrate freedom of speech and raise whatever glass you have in your hand filled with whatever spirits it may be. And give a good old fuck you, Donald Trump. Fuck you.
I am here for that. I am definitely here for that. We were driving around earlier and we even saw, it was a small protest, but we do live in a deeply red state. So, but we saw a protest.
And well, it may not have been, the bigger protest may not have been there.
No, I think the bigger protest is actually supposed to be happening downtown.
Yes. So, yeah. Let's celebrate No King's Day, because this country, as the United States of America, has not ever had a king, nor will it.
Nor should it. I mean, we elect our leaders for a reason, and the democratic process is important. And it says in the Constitution that you get 2 terms as president, tops.
Well, now they had to make an amendment.
They had to make an amendment because we had a very popular president who kept winning elections.
Oh, FDR.
But we only allow 2 terms. We don't allow kings. And what Trump is trying to do is basically anoint himself king. And that's not cool, bro.
This is what happens when weak men get power. Because Trump is a very weak man. All of his power comes from malice. And those that lead with malice are little men.
Oh, definitely agreed. Definitely agreed. And I've been reading online about this whole No King's Day, No King's protest, the No King's rallies going across the United States today. And they're getting pretty big. Like they've drawn millions of people in, all the states, in several cities.
I'm reading there's been one instance where an SUV drove through a crowd of protesters. Well, a crowd of departing pedestrians, striking at least one person in a parking lot. This was in Culpeper, Virginia.
So it also happened in San Francisco.
And then there was an incident with the Proud Boys, which, remember, folks, always keep a padlock on you if on the off chance you come across a U-Haul carrying Proud Boys. And then, yeah.
No, apparently there was also an incident in San Francisco where protesters were struck by motorists.
They're thinking the biggest one is going to be happening in Philadelphia. And that is because that is where our nation was born. It's where the Liberty Bell is. That's where we signed the Declaration of Independence, I believe. It's where the Constitution was written, I believe. So Philadelphia is going to be basically the Mecca. Now, what I'm also reading or seeing is that there's going to be thunderstorms in the D.C. area during his little parade. Oh.
I mean, I don't believe in God, but I think that's like the universe's way of saying fuck you, Trump, and I'm here for it.
Now, there is in Florida, some protesters marched and got close to Mar-a-Lago, and yeah, let me see here. So it says is that protests got close to Mar-a-Lago, and they were only got as close as they could, that police will allow them to, and were met by Trump support. Yes, I was right. All right, so yeah, in Philadelphia is where they signed the Declaration of Independence.
Yes.
There's also protest happening in L.A. Other than
the ICE protest?
Yes, which was been blown completely out of proportion.
The ICE protest?
Yeah, what I've been reading from a lot of L.A. citizens, because you know how like the news is saying that L.A. is a war zone, L.A. is, it's mainly MAGA people are saying that, LA is just right now, it needs the military to go in and take it back under control and all that stuff. You know how many residents of LA have said, yeah, these protests aren't as big as y'all think they are. The Rodney King protest was bigger than this. There's been several protests and riots bigger than this. This is a little one. But of course, because they're protesting against fucking Adolf Trump, they got to blow it out of proportion, and they want to send in the military, National Guard.
Yeah, it's amazing that people literally stormed the fucking Capitol, and our president at the time did nothing to stop that. Instead, kind of egged them on a little bit. But yet this protest in the protest in LA, he's like, no, we got to send in the National Guard. We got to send in the Marines. It's ridiculous. It's illegal. There have been hotlines set up to help service members who refuse to participate.
Oh, they got the guy who drove his SUV into some people in Culpeper, Virginia. And wouldn't you know it, white kid, 21 years old.
They got the guy who, in San Francisco too, he's being charged with, I think right now or I could be thinking about the Virginia guy, but with reckless driving. And maybe some other charges will be added on later. But thankfully, no one was terribly injured, according to what I've read, which is fortunate, but unnecessary, right? Like, in this country, you have a right to protest. You have a right to protest. Now, the January 6th protesters, I would defend to my death, right? But not the ones who actually stormed the Capitol. If you took place in storming the Capitol, that was a violation of U.S. law, and I think you should go to jail for that. But if you were just going to protest, and you went to a protest and you were on the right, even though I am very much a leftist, I would still 100% back your right to fucking protest, because that is a staple of being an American.
That is the First Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America, a right to peaceful protest. Once you made it not peaceful by attacking police officers and storming the Capitol, you lost all rights, and you should not have been pardoned.
No, you shouldn't.
Nor should you be allowed to then take up, like, because you heard that some of the January 6ers might end up with, like, government jobs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Let's take a bunch of unstable, emotionally immature fucking people and give them places of power. Oh, wait, we already have several of those right now.
That's very true. It's very true.
Yeah, weak men draw in weak people, because weak people don't get their feelings hurt when somebody says something bad about them. They just look at them and go, and?
You mean strong people don't?
Yeah, strong people don't. Sorry. Yeah, strong people just look at you and go, and?
I mean,
I got shit to do. Go flap your jaw somewhere else.
I mean, the right to protest and the right to criticize authority in this country is so ingrained. It's so important that they made it the First Amendment to the Constitution, right? It's the First Amendment that they made. Like, oh yeah, and by the way, you have the right to question authority in this country. You have the right to stand up and say, I don't like this. You have the right to hold your, leaders to task when they don't do what they're supposed to do. And
I mean, that's one of the main principles of the Second Amendment. You have the right to bear arms against a tyrannical government.
It does say a well-organized militia, though.
National Guard is basically the fucking militia. Or if you choose to create a militia, a large enough militia, you have every right to go against the U.S. government.
Yeah, but I think that we've organized it in such a way that, like, that's not possible anymore.
Well,
because the U.S. government has nukes, and I don't think a militia should have nukes.
Well,
but then again, I don't think the U.S. government should have nukes.
And the U.S. government has drones. They don't need to deploy a single fucking soldier. They pop a drone in the sky, drop a couple bombs like they did in Tulsa, and in fucking, they did it in a town in Pennsylvania too.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and just, you're done. You guys sitting out there going, I need my AR-15 to defend against the government. I mean, if you survive the bombing, and you survive the tanks, and then you survive the infantry, and somehow make it to a point where you can kill the tyrannical leader, by all means. But that means you're going to have to do a lot of hiding before that.
Oh, yeah, the move bombing. That's what you're talking about, the 1985 move bombing, how as it was locally known, where they bombed and destroyed the homes in Cobbs Creek neighborhood of Philadelphia.
Wait, wasn't there also another bombing in that area? Like, how many times has the U.S. government bombed its own fucking country?
I know of two. That's not to say that there aren't more. I know about the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing, which was not taught in school, but should have been taught in school. I definitely think that is something that we should be taught in school, is the times that America has turned on its own. And then the move bombing in Philadelphia in 1985, which, think about that. Like, that's in lived history, right? Like, the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing isn't in lived history for most people because it's so long ago. Like, that's over 100 years ago now that the Tulsa, Oklahoma bombing happened. So that's not really in lived history. But the move bombing, like, you and I were alive during the move bombing. Like, in our lifetime, the U.S. government has bombed its own people. That is...
Oh, we also bombed Puerto Rico.
Not in my lived history, but also in lived history. That's fucked up.
They buried it beneath a mountain. There was, they dropped, 1950, the U.S. dropped bombs on the Puerto Rican towns of, Jayuya, Yehua, and Utado, an uprising that ended in rubble. The U.S. reported the violent destruction as an incident between Puerto Ricans. They wrote it out of history. In 1985, Philadelphia police dropped a bomb on a residential neighborhood where fire quickly reached through 50 to 60 row homes, leaving 11 dead.
And that's not including incidents like Ruby Ridge, where bombs weren't used, but we attacked our own people in standoffs that didn't necessarily need to be violent, where, the U.S. shot first.
Oh, we're going to see incidences like that in L.A. with the L.A. protests over ICE.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've already seen incidents like that, basically, where the U.S. has attacked and they've detained U.S. citizens.
Wasn't there, during the first Trump administration, there were some riots and whatnot, or protests happening over in Oregon where they were just snatching motherfuckers off the streets?
Yes. Yep, that happened.
It seems like every time Trump gets into office, all of a sudden it turns into like a Gestapo fucking...
It's because the man's a fucking Nazi. I mean, the man is a fucking Nazi. There's no other way around it. He's a fucking Nazi. And he is an authoritarian. He doesn't believe in free speech. He doesn't believe in, you can't question him. He thinks he's God. He doesn't think he's the U.S. president. He thinks he's fucking God. And I got news for you, old Trump, old Taco. You are not God. You are not the end all be all. You will die one day and the world will be better for it. And that is not to say that I think that someone should, do not take that the wrong way. I don't think people should perpetrate violence against Trump. I don't think violence is the answer. But I do think he's human. He's going to die one day, and the world will be better off for it, because that'll be one less authoritarian in the world. But I don't think his death is going to solve the problem. I think he's opened up Pandora's box that it's going to be hard to get back in.
And there's not, other than... There's a part here where Trump's father was in a village and he was talking to a local villager and he said that he was a fan of Hitler. Didn't Trump said that Hitler did some good things?
Yes, Trump has been quoted saying that Hitler did some good things.
And then you got old Elon, whose family actually has connections because they were the technocrats of Canada.
Yes.
And they wore very gray outfits, very military looking, whatnot, and they got kicked out because they found out, the Canadian government found out that they were basically in connection with the Nazi party. So not surprised that old Elon threw out a couple sick hails there, or not surprised that Trump surrounds himself with so many anti-Semitic people.
I mean, yeah, because that's what weak people do. They find a group to blame, and the Jewish community's always been an easy target.
And especially when you got bleach, blonde, butch body bitches saying that it was the Jews that started the California fires with space lasers.
That fucking idiot. Oh my God. Do not even get me started on MTJ. Or MTG. She's just... I don't understand how we've literally reached a point where we're leaning towards idiocracy. And I know that it's a funny movie, but I think we're actually leaning that way. And I think the Lauren Boeberts and the MTGs of the world fucking prove it.
So here's my take on that. I think the government officials in idiocracy are better people than the ones that we have.
Because they tried to promote the most intelligent of them, even though they're all idiots.
Well, what they did is, they were just dumb. They didn't know any better. And when you had President Camacho, he'd be like, well, hang on a second. Are you telling me this might work?
You mean I shouldn't use Gatorade?
The plants don't like Gatorade, but it's got electrolytes. That's what you need. I'll use water. Like from the toilet? Yeah. And then once, it was showing to work, they were like, well, hang on a second. This guy actually might be smart. Oh, let's follow him. Let's see what he can do. The people in idiocracy were good people. They were just dumb.
But I think that we're getting to a point where we're not valuing intelligence anymore. So we're getting dumber and dumber as a nation.
Carl Sagan said that before he died.
And I think that I think that Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene fucking prove this fact, because I don't think they're inherently evil. I think they're just exceptionally fucking stupid.
No.
I don't think they know better.
I don't think they're intelligent. I don't think they're very intelligent. But I do think that they're smart enough and charismatic enough to say dumb shit to get people to elect them. And that's how people like them get elected, is they don't say things. They don't say smart things. They say dynamic things.
Yes. Yeah, I can agree with that. But it's just the fact that, I don't think that I think they really are that stupid. I think they really are so stupid that some things I think they know. Something I do think they get. I don't think that they actually believe that Jewish space lasers caused the fires. But they're too stupid to look at the big picture and think, well, if I say this, what's the aftermath? What does this cause? not immediately, which is in my favor, but 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 100 years down the line. Like, what is the effect of these words going to be? And they're going to have an effect. When you convince people that space lasers cause fires, and yes.
Well, she didn't convince them because, you know, that they also have this incredible talent of going, well, I didn't say that.
Even though you
That's
have them
fake
on
news.
recording?
Oh, no, you guys generated that. AI, you guys used AI to create that.
Which is alarming because I don't believe that AI was used to create, the space
AI,
laser.
Yeah, but people now are going AI is so
Advanced,
everyday
yeah.
that people are like, oh, it's been around forever.
No, it's still fairly new.
Yeah.
Like the way that in the sense that we use it, the way that we use it now with voice generators and, video generators and...
Because I'm not going to lie, one of my favorite things to watch is the AI created fucking Bigfoot videos where Bigfoot vlogs.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And he's out in the woods and he's like, I snuck a stick of dynamite into these campers' fire. Let's watch. And then it just shows and he's like, I think I might have messed up on that one. Or he's like, I found this block of powdered sugar in the woods. I wonder what it smells like. And then you see him running. He's got like bright red eyes. He's like, that was not powdered sugar. I haven't slept in days.
I haven't seen these videos.
He's like, oh, look, mushrooms. I'm hungry. The forest is breathing with me. I can smell colors. And then it comes to be like, I haven't slept in so long.
I've not seen these videos. I'll have to check out those videos. But like AI is fun. I use AI in... our other podcast, The Tabletop of Doom. I use it in this podcast to do like intros and outros. I use it to, cut out all of the fucking space and shit. Like I use AI but it's new. It's fairly new. And people do think that it's been around a lot longer because it has become such a big part of our everyday lives. Like they're even introducing, I don't know if you've heard this, but they're trying to find ways to incorporate Chat GPT into college life because there's no way to get around Chat GPT. Like, it's going to be used to create papers. So how do we make sure that people are still learning what they need to learn before they, use it to create the paper?
Now, my fear with AI is that it's not going to take over the world. My fear with AI is the same fear I had with social media. In the beginning, social media was a way to just connect, share art, and just enjoy what people have around you. Mm-hmm. Now, social media is a fucking dumpster fire. And it's made people into dumpster fires. We have so many keyboard warriors. We have so many people who will just spread malice just to spread malice because they know that there's no repercussions behind their words. There's nobody there when they say the dumb shit to punch them in the mouth.
You can't punch a Nazi if they're Nazi through the screen.
Because they can hide their identity and then they can walk into wherever they oh, hey, how you doing? Hi, Mrs. Heisenberg or whatever. Lovely to see you.
And they go home and write vitriol.
Yeah.
On how bad the Jewish people are or how bad the black community is or
what's up, Jerome? What's up? How you doing?
Oh my God, black people are taking over and
Yeah, no. Social media allows people to not get punched in the mouth for the dumb shit that they say. And I don't like it because the reason why we have assholes in this world is because so many people let them get away with it.
I can agree to that. I do think that we as a society have gotten a far ways away from...
And another problem that we have is too many people are quick to pull a gun. Just take the ass whooping. If you deserve an ass whooping, just fucking take the ass whooping.
And I think...
Also, if you want to be big, bad, and tough, the first thing you shouldn't do is pull a fucking gun. Because if you pull a gun, acting all big, bad, and tough, that tells me you're a scared little person because you have to hide behind an item that can easily kill somebody because you fear that your hands and your words cannot take care of the situation.
I also think that a huge problem when it comes to that is that I think that guns, I do believe in the Second Amendment. I do think that people should have a right to bear arms. But I think within reason. And I think within, we license cars, right? We make sure that your car is safe to drive on the road before we just let you drive it on the road. There are cars that you can't drive on the road because they're not road legal, because they're not safe for the road. Yada, yada, yada. Same thing for fucking guns. If you're going to own a gun, I think you should have to take a class on how to safely shoot that gun, how to operate that gun, and how to store that gun. Because there's too many fucking kids getting a hold of their parents' goddamn guns and then shooting themselves or shooting someone else. Because one thing you learn in my industry is most people who commit suicide decided in the last 5 minutes that they're going to commit suicide. In the last 5 minutes, they don't take enough time to think through the consequences of their actions. They just do it. And more men than women use guns to commit suicide. So where you're losing an alarming amount, this should be a big thing. Like all the men who say that they're men's rights activists, okay, this should be a concern for you then. The fact that so many young men are fucking killing themselves with weapons that they got from their dad's fucking, cushions because dad didn't store his gun properly. Kid knows where the gun is. Kid had a bad day at school, comes home, blows his fucking brains out.
Men lead in suicides.
They complete more suicides than women because women tend to use other means, and there's
women
a longer
tend to use pills and other things that won't deform them when they die. Because even in death, women are trained or programmed to maintain their quote unquote beauty.
Yes.
Well, men are just no, I want this done. I want it over. Let's be like Kurt Cobain and paint a fucking ceiling.
Kurt Cobain was murdered.
Yeah, by himself.
No, by someone else. I'm not saying it was Courtney Love, but it might have been Courtney Love.
Courtney Love didn't do it.
I don't think she personally did it, but anyway. But no, I think there should be rules about that. Because in our town recently, there was a shooting between two teenagers, and they were both.
15-year-old got shot by a 13-year-old.
And that is.
Then they come to find out that the 13-year-old got the gun from his parents.
And that I think the parents should go to jail.
I agree.
Because you shouldn't, I'm not saying that you shouldn't teach your 13-year-old how to shoot a gun. I think if you're going to have guns in the house, then at age appropriate levels, you should teach them gun safety. I definitely think that you should teach that 13-year-old how to use a gun. But I don't think what you should do is just give that 13-year-old free access to that gun. I think you should still have to keep it locked because you don't want your kid to find your fucking gun and that kid's life is over.
Well, that's if they don't charge him as a juvenile. If they charge him as a juvenile, then...
Even if they do charge him as a juvenile, he's going to have that on his conscience for the rest of his life, and that's a lot to carry.
I mean, yeah, but...
That is a lot to put on a 13-year-old. And don't even get me started on the fact that the 15-year-old's life is literally over.
And the family has to deal with that their son will never walk through their doors again.
Yep. No graduation from high school. No marriage.
No prom.
No grandkids from that child. No, none of the milestones that people look forward to are going to happen because the fucking adult was irresponsible with their goddamn gun.
And I think one of the biggest problems is the parents these days spend too much time on their fucking phone and not paying attention to their fucking kids.
I think we as a society, just in general, spend too much time on our phones. I have personally tried to restrict my phone time recently because my phone has started telling me, you did better today. You spent less time on your phone than you did yesterday. So I've been trying to, actively work on that and not spend as much time on my phone.
Do you, when it says that, when you be you've been better today, do you go, thank you, Daddy?
Because my daddy would never have said that to me.
Oh, do you go, thank you, sir?
It's but I'm oh, that's yay. I spent 45 minutes less on my phone today than yesterday. Yay, I'm going to try to do better tomorrow. I feel like a good girl, pat on the back. Yeah, I think we as a society have gotten, we've gotten so used to, and this is something that's been a while. This is something that we've had access to for a while, is we've had these, computers in our pockets, and still fairly new, though. We can remember a time when we didn't have computers in our pockets. I can remember a time when I didn't have a computer in my pocket, and I'm not even 43 yet. Not quite 4 days. But I think we've gotten so used to having computers in our pockets that we forget to look up from those computers. Because don't get me wrong, smartphones are an amazing invention. I think they've opened up the entire world for us. I can learn, Japanese on my phone if I want. I think that's amazing. But what do we actually use it for?
You can create
cat memes.
You can create a business.
Yep. We have created 2 businesses from our phones. 3 businesses from our phones.
But once again, it's the way our phones are now, and having such ease of access to all the information and just utter nonsense, is 20 years old.
Has it been 20 years?
Yeah.
Since the smartphone was invented?
Well, it may not have been because, when we also defined smartphones, the BlackBerry came out and you were able to send emails and things like that. You weren't able to, post memes and stuff or whatnot. But yeah, no, in 2005, you can go on your phone And I remember having a flip phone and being able to access like porn sites in 2005.
Because that's what we use it for, cat memes and porn.
Well, you know that old song, right?
The internet is for porn.
The internet is for porn.
So I looked it up and said 1992, but that's not what I'm actually looking for.
The internet is for porn. Shit. I just spilled some bourbon. My bourbon got excited and jizzed all over. Talking about porn.
So when I think of a smartphone, though, I think of like an iPhone, because apparently the first smartphone came out in 1992. You could get emails and no, it's called the IBM Simon Personal Communicator.
I forgot about the Simon.
You can make emails and faxes.
Yeah. And like once again, as I said earlier, when we define smartphones and whatnot, the ability to send emails and shit like that. But like, hell, the iPhone 3?
Okay,
I
so
had an iPhone 3 in 2006 or 7.
so the first iPhone was unveiled in 2007. So
I had the first generation of iPhone?
you could have had the third generation. They just came out with them pretty quickly because a lot of it was,
Yeah, the first ones were shit.
But so like modern smartphones have not exactly been around for 20 years now, but close, fucking 18. They started development in 2020 or 2005. So they've been in development for 20 years and they've been out on the market for 18.
Well, I would
which
say
is insane.
that when your phone has the ability to access websites and shit like that, it's a smartphone.
Didn't the first iPhone do that?
It did, but there was phones out before then that could do that. Like I said, I had a flip phone in 2005. 2005.
Oh yeah, those could. Yeah, I remember having phones that could access the internet, but they were janky. The screen was tiny.
You had
to type it in using the touchstone thing that we all use on flip phones back then, like on those old Nokias. But
where you had to hit the number like several times to get the right letter.
To get like a T, you had to punch the number 3 times, and
I think it was number 7.
something like that.
No.
Like to be a C, you'd be like 111.
No.
Or 222.
Yeah, because there was no letters on number 1.
But yeah, so like we've had smartphones for almost 20 years now, which is still like not a long time. Like it's a long time, but it's not a long time. Like that's not even like half my life.
Which, how many letters are in the alphabet?
26.
26?
Yeah.
So if there was no letters on the number 1, that means 2 of the numbers had 4 letters.
Either that or they didn't have a Q.
No, there was a Q.
Some didn't have a Q, I think. Some didn't have a Q. Well, yeah, I think there was 2 that had 4 letters. Because not to get too into it, but like I can remember rotary phones. Like I can remember,
Well, rotary phones are like...
I'm just saying that's how new...
Leftovers from like the 70s and the 80s.
I'm just saying like that's how new smartphones are. That's how quickly we developed the technology. Is in my lifetime, we went from rotary phones still being used in some households to, computers in our pockets and relatively fast computers, right? Like my iPhone and my Android, because I have to have 2 because one's for work, operate about as fast as my laptop or my desktop. And think about how many computers we have, right? Like the average home has more than one computer in their home now when you think about smartphones. People have iPhones. Or they have smartphones, they have tablets, they have laptops, and then they have desktops.
The number 7 and the number 9 had 4 numbers, or 4 letters. Because number 7 had PQRS, and number 9 had WXYZ.
I was wrong about the T being punched. Okay. It's been a while.
Number 8.
Yes. So that would have been T. To get a T, you would just punched it once. But for some reason, I'm thinking it was RST. But it's been a while.
7777 366 366 883 33 777.
Spells what?
Send nudes.
Of course, that's a phrase. I have seen that meme though, where it's like just a bunch of numbers, and it's like only millennials will understand this, or only elder millennials will understand this. And I'm like, yeah, no, because I can always figure it out.
All right, so we got sidetracked.
No King's Day.
No King's Day.
Fuck Trump.
In the asshole.
With no lube.
With a baseball bat made out of balsa wood wrapped in barbed wire.
That sounds painful.
You know, balsa wood is...
We don't recommend anyone actually do that. Don't rape President Trump. Just want to be clear.
Well... Say that you don't recommend.
We don't recommend it because we will get sued and we will be taken to court if we recommend that. So we do not recommend it. Do not rape anyone including Trump, but fuck Trump. I hope his parade gets washed out. I hope it gets fucking what time is it supposed to start?
It was supposed to start at 6:30.
Our time? So it was not canceled as of 41 minutes ago. It's still live.
See. It proceeds despite rain forecast and the protest. 6,000 troops and 128 army tanks is what he tried. All right, so the procession with more than 6,000 soldiers and 128 army tanks was one Trump tried to make happen in his first term after seeing such an event in Paris in 2017. At times, Trump stood and saluted as troops marched past the reviewing stand, but attendance appeared to fall short of early predictions that as many as 200,000 people would attend the festival and parade. So not even 200,000 people showed up.
And it's estimated that millions of people have shown up to the
No Kings
parades. Or the No Kings protest. So once again, my heart is warmed by the fact that Trump failed.
More people showed up to protest him than people showed up
to support him.
I
truly believe that there aren't that many Trump supporters. I think there's just people who are ignorant and voted for Trump because they didn't want to vote for...
Well, there's also a lot of them out there that...
woman, especially a woman who was half Indian and half black.
Well, there's a lot of Trump voters out there going, I voted for you. Why are you hurting me?
I mean, there are a lot of people out there, I've been reading a lot of people who have been like, I didn't vote for this. I voted for Trump, but I didn't vote for this when it comes to the ICE raids. There have been people who have been detained who are U.S. citizens. And people are like, well, I didn't vote for that. I didn't vote for this, but you did.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that, I voted for Trump, but I didn't vote for the Department of Education to be basically dismantled.
But you did vote for that.
Your ignorance
is not an excuse. Just like in the eyes of the law, if you commit a crime, but you were ignorant of that crime, ignorance is not an excuse.
I didn't know I was committing a crime.
Same thing when it comes to voting. Ignorance isn't an excuse. Do your fucking research, people. Do your fucking homework. It's not that hard.
Oh, that's why we have fucking Fox News and OAN and whatever fucking other True Social and shit like that. These quote-unquote media outlets that just sensationalize nonsense. You want to know the real reason why the LA riots or protests are getting so much fucking news coverage and shit?
Why?
Is because right before it was happening, Congress was talking about the Epstein files. So to distract everybody from that, he focused on the riots in LA and the protests in LA.
Which reminds me, Elon Musk, I know you're not listening to this, but if you ever do, we would love to know what you know about the Epstein files.
Yeah,
during your feud with Trump, you mentioned that he was in them. How do you know that? What do you know? I'd love to hear it. The world would love to hear it.
I think the Epstein files should just be released, and whoever's in them needs to be put in jail.
They need to be held accountable. Yeah, you need to be held fucking accountable for.
And I don't care who the fuck it is. I don't care if I find out that fucking Tom Hanks is in them motherfuckers. If Tom Hanks is in them, I mean that sucks.
Oh yeah, it would sadden my heart to know that Tom Hanks was in them. But if Tom Hanks was in them, I want to know that information.
I'd be happier knowing that people who did horrible things to children were behind bars.
And adults.
People who were just doing horrible shit on that island.
Yeah.
I would be more satisfied and whatnot, knowing that those people are behind bars, getting justice, than them still out there making art that I find enjoyable.
Oh, definitely.
Do I enjoy art? I absolutely do, but I enjoy justice more.
Definitely. That's like Harvey Weinstein. I hate that so many, Miramax was a company that put out a lot of movies and stuff that I loved. But I still want Harvey Weinstein to, to be held accountable. And he has been, apparently. He was convicted again. But I want him to be held accountable regardless of the fact that he made art that I love.
It's like Bill Cosby.
Loved Bill Cosby. Hate the fact that he's a fucking piece of shit, but glad that we now know that he's a piece of shit. And it doesn't matter that he created art that I loved. It doesn't matter that, he was like everyone's fucking dad.
Even though, what's her name? Lisa Monet?
Yeah.
Yeah, she, while on the Cosby Show, was like, no, he's not a good person. They butted heads all the time because he told her that because you're a part of this show, that you have to continue the persona outside the show. You can't have your own you can't be an individual because you're representing the show.
You know what's interesting? The same thing happened to Jessica Biel, who played on Seventh Heaven, and come to find out, the lead actor in Seventh Heaven was also a fucking pedophile.
Oh, the super religious dude?
He played a preacher on Seventh Heaven.
Yeah.
And he told her, like, one of the reasons she was written out of the show is because she kept getting in trouble. And it wasn't just him. Like, the CW was like, well, this is a family show, and you have to continue to be, like, purport yourself as an upstanding member of this, like, a good Christian girl. And she's like, but I'm not. And they were like, well, then you can't be a part of the show anymore. And she was like, but it's acting. That's the whole thing. It's an acting job. You get to tell me what to do when I'm on set.
Yeah, this is a 9 to 5. Outside that 9 to 5, you don't fucking own a goddamn thing.
And I get that to a degree. Like, I think there should be morals clauses, right? Like, you can't just go out and, do all
off the back of hookers.
I was going to say something very similar, but yes, you can't just go out and do a bunch of fucking blow and, Lindsay Lohan it up and then come and do a family show. Like, okay, I can see that. But saying, like, you just can't have...
No, fuck that. Well, and if you do it good, those people are great. If you can portray just in your 9 to 5 a well-mannered, well-disciplined, good little Christian person and pull it off, but when you're not on your 9 to 5, fucking Charlie Sheen in it, fucking good on you.
Well, I don't...
Because people are going to be like, wait, what? No, that's not the person you are on TV. And be like, that's how good I am at my fucking job.
That's how good of a fucking actor I am, bitch.
But you're not really that person? No. Who wants to be that? Sheltered, fucking stuck up, without living life.
I mean...
A little suburbanite.
The CW even went so far as to write it into the show, like that she was not a fallen woman so much as a troubled teen. They wrote it into the show, like that's the reason she was like sent off the show, was she was sent to boarding schools and military schools and things like that to be fucking retrained.
The first actress who was Lori in that 70s show.
Oh, yeah?
They replaced her.
For the same reasons?
She kept getting in trouble with drugs and all kinds of other shit. And yeah, no, they were like, yeah, we're done with you. So Lori disappeared for the longest damn time. And then Lori reappeared, but it was a new fucking actress. Woman. Which the same thing happened to fucking Becky and Roseanne.
Was it drugs? Yeah, but was it drugs?
I don't know what it was, but it's funny because in Roseanne, we had one Becky, and then Becky disappeared for a while, and then new Becky came along, and everybody was like, wait, what the fuck? This ain't Viv. You can't pull this.
It did also happen to Aunt Viv.
It also happened in Boy Meets World.
Who'd they change in Boy Meets World?
The little sister.
Oh, yeah, they did. They totally fucking did.
They changed somebody else, too.
They changed the character on Shameless, but it wasn't because of drugs. It was because the girl got a better acting gig.
I can't remember if it was on Family Matters or I think it might have been on Family Matters. The little sister in Family Matters. I think she got replaced too. It was either in Family Matters or The Cosby Show. They just did a little fucking switcheroo and hope nobody would notice. But it's funny that in Roseanne, they changed Becky's, but then they went back to the original Becky because the Becky who's playing in The Connors is the original Becky.
Yeah, but they did do that one episode. Oh. Excuse me. They did do that one episode of The Connors where they had both Beckys.
I don't remember that one.
Yeah. New Becky meets old Becky in a bar.
I don't remember that one. I'd love to see that. The Becky's having a Spider-Man moment. Going, hey, it's you! That's a meme. All the Spider-Mans just pointing at each other. But, all right, I think that's all we got. Because, yeah, despite it being, I don't want to give that fucking Cheeto too much attention. He doesn't deserve it.
Well, thank you to all those who protest today. We appreciate you standing out in some places rain, bad weather to protest Trump. We appreciate that.
To all the people who fucking had to suffer the counter protest and the idiots, who decided it would be a good idea to drive through, and a shout out, and I hope they find him, and I fucking hope they bring him to justice, and I hope the people of Minnesota throw one of the biggest fucking protests this country's ever seen because of the two Democratic lawmakers. They got shot. One's dead. I haven't seen the status of the other one.
Oh, yeah. My heart goes out to their family, and I hope that they catch the motherfucker who did it.
and hanging.
I don't think he should be hung. I think he should be.
Hanging.
I think he should be brought to justice.
Sometimes justice is at the end of a fucking rope.
Well, we'll have to agree to disagree on that one. But be sure to find us on all the podcast places. We are also all over social media because we're like herpes. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Love you.